Hey everybody, I am David Geisler, host of the Technophiles podcast, and I am here doing another Let's Play during our summer break, and I am so crazy excited about what's happening right now. I have a good friend and a host of Rewatchmen, and for this series, more specifically, Top Shelf Disney, what's the full title? It's a long one, CC.
The Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library.
There it is. I call it Top Shelf Disney when I'm speaking about it.
That would be the shorthand, yeah.
Is that okay? So TC DeWitt is here with me, and we're actually, I'm actually at the Redacted Studios, which is another company that you work as.
Yeah.
That's
I wear many hats in many arenas, and Redacted is definitely one of them. So
I went down to Chicago to see Drew about a month ago, and we played really, really difficult NES games, and I had so much fun doing it that you and I were working on a project a week or two ago through Redacted, in fact.
Redacted, yeah.
And I was like, would you allow me to come to you and maybe we do a Let's Play?
You didn't even have to twist you're like at 3 seconds through that sentence. I'm like, yes, what? I don't know.
I was so excited. So at first I was like, well, what could it be? I was like, oh, well, there's a lot of really tough Disney games out there. There's just some like old Gameboy games that are really hard to play. Famously, like the Pocahontas Gameboy game is almost unplayable.
Lion King's got a history behind it. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And I was thinking like, okay, well, let's do like tough Disney games, because that obviously lines up with your show that you do with Mr. Jeff Bell.
Yes, Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios podcast. What we do, it's a second series of the Top Shelf podcast that was created by Jeff and Lindsay Shank over at the Ghost Hat Network, ghosthat.net, and they watched the AFI 100. When that series ended, I pitched an idea just because I love working with Jeff. I'm like, hey, would you like to do the Disney library?
That was your idea.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about. Well, I'm going to ask more questions about Top Shelf and Ghost Hat and all of that as we play. Because I was actually kind of wondering. But anyway, I want to kind of get to the games here. So let's talk about real quick, without wasting too much more time. First of all, TC, yes, of course, thanks for letting me be here. And I can't wait to play. When we were tossing around ideas of what games to play, yes, it's true. I first thought, let's do difficult games. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, there's, Mickey Mouse Capades is a famous NES game that was very difficult to play, almost broken. There was the Disney Adventures game that Drew and I played in our Let's Play that was very difficult to play. And I was like, okay, that kind of fits, but then it really clicked for me, and I was like, wait. On your show right now, I'm a fan, I listen to every episode.
Thank you.
On your show right now, you and Jeff are just, as they say, coming out of what you have been calling the Dark Ages, and maybe people call that, but more importantly, what that means is you're coming into, each week you review, did you say that already?
No, I didn't. So we watch one Disney movie in the specific library of Disney Animation Studios, which is 56 films currently with Moana.
Yep.
And we watch one movie a week. We're watching them in the order they were released, starting with Snow White. And our most recent episode as of recording this here right now is Oliver and Company.
Yes.
So we
just finished with Black Cauldron, I think.
Yeah, Black Cauldron was the most... Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So I found a Black Cauldron game, but it was like a DOS situation. It was really hard to do. And there's actually an Oliver and Company DOS game as well. But what we're going to do here is, what I decided is, because you're coming into this new arc, and I would be
the Renaissance.
The Renaissance. Is that what they call it?
The Disney Renaissance.
It's the Little Mermaid, and it's
Beauty and the Beast,
the stuff that you and I, the age we are, kind of grew up with. I thought, this would be, obviously be so smitten if this little side series that we're doing in some way lines up with your brain space of you guys also reviewing these games.
Right.
So I decided, I pitched a couple games here. We're going to do a 6-video series here, okay?
All right.
And I think...
that was going to be fun. If you threw an extra one in here.
Oh, there's 6. How can I not include a few of these? So what we're going to do, though, is I think we're going to play 6 Disney games, and specifically we're going to be playing the Super Nintendo version of them, because Sega's wonderful. There's plenty of other great systems, but I collect Nintendo games, and so this is what I have in my library.
You're a big retro nerd, you're a cartridge collector.
I have to confess, I'm now a cartridge collector. It's happened. It snuck up on me over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
It used to be that I was just collecting cool stuff for the Technophiles set, for the background of the Technophiles set. I'd be like, oh yeah, top loading, NES system.
Look, it's in the background. It's in the background.
Yes, exactly. But then it turned into me starting to hit up local shops, and now I have lists that I'm trying to fulfill.
Oh,
anyway,
geez, you went the whole list.
It has happened. It has happened. I always make sure I play the games, whatever. Okay, fine. Let's keep going here. So what we're going to do is we are going to play the games in order of the film date release, not in order of the game release.
So we're going to have jumps in quality here.
Jumps in quality is going to be all over the place. And the reason we're doing that is, I'm kind of honoring what you are doing over on Top Shelf Disney with going chronologically forward. So for example, the very first game we're going to play today is Pinocchio. And that, of course, came out in 1940, but the release date for the Super Nintendo game game was 1996.
Okay.
This is actually after kind of the famous Aladdin game and Lion King game, I believe, if my notes are correct here. Yeah. So we're going to get started. I think we'll talk about each game on the top of their video, because certainly I've been talking plenty already in this intro. In fact, there's probably a countdown right now on the screen, just letting our viewers know, like,
we're about to start.
Dave's going to shut up soon. We're about to start. So real quick, we're going to play Pinocchio, we're going to play The Jungle Book, we're going to play The Little Mermaid, we're going to play Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King.
Okay.
Now, most of these games are actually Super Nintendo games. The Little Mermaid is, of course, a Nintendo game. It was made by Capcom. It's a famous game, famous for being actually pretty good, and I concur. But then just for a little twist, what we're going to do is we're going to play each game for 10 minutes, maybe loosely, right?
About 10 minutes.
Whenever if we feel like our souls are being torn out of us, we may stop earlier. If we're loving it, we might play a little longer. You never know with some of these games. But then just for the fun of it, this is to satisfy my nerdiness of collecting retro games.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to then play the Game Boy version of the same game.
Okay.
Maybe just for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's, the Lion King Super Nintendo game that came out on Sega Genesis. There is a Game Boy emulation of it, or a Game Boy version of it. And some of these Game Boy games are very similar to their Super Nintendo iterations, and some are shockingly different.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be fun to explore. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great.
I can't wait. So, all right, yes, we will get right into it. We're going to be playing Pinocchio for this video. This is going to be a playlist. After this, feel free to click on our next video where we'll be playing Jungle Book. Of course, we'll talk about that at the end. Let's get to it.
All right, here we go.
All right, TC, I have Pinocchio up and running, Super Nintendo Pinocchio, and we have the recorder going. So, Virgin Interactive did this. We're going to see a trend with these games that we played. A lot of these games will bounce back and forth between Virgin Interactive and Capcom.
Okay.
And we're going to see...
I'm more familiar with the Capcom game.
Varying quality levels, and from both companies.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. So this is a situation where these are the guys, the people who did this. This is after they had already done, like, the Jungle Book, which is actually the next one we're going to be taking a look at. Yeah, you can get started here. Go for it. Just while I'm talking.
Yeah, please.
So this is in this time in the mid '90s. This is like '96 when this came out, where it was like, this is the Earthworm Jim days. This is Jungle Book. This is Pitfall Mayan Adventure, where things are all the sprites are overly animated. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing. I think this even comes out after Lion King. This is the one that they did after Lion King.
I am a fan of this era of video gaming, to tell you the truth. So I had a NES. I had a Super Nintendo, I had a Game Boy.
Yep.
And then eventually I moved on to, like, PlayStation and Xbox. But
I remember this game coming out. So, yeah, right. So let's talk about the game that we're playing right now. You're playing right now. You have the controller in your hand. I have played this a number of times. In fact, I've gotten all the way into the whale's belly.
Oh, gee, see, I've never played this game.
Right. That's why I'm so happy that you're playing it first here or whatever. And so what are your first impressions here of what's going on?
Okay. Well, first thing I'll say is I have a jump option. That's it.
And that's about it.
That's it.
This is a Super Nintendo game. You have 6 buttons and you have jump.
It's just jump. So here.
There is not even run.
This is I like the animation. Like, it has a great spritey look to it. It has that it's from that era I'm really into. Because honestly, I think games now, though I do love a lot of modern games, they're way too complicated. They have way too many options. I mean,
I think I could agree. Yeah.
There's something so endearing about side scrollers, and
I love them.
They're
Whoa! Has anything hurt you yet?
Not yet. Although I bet
this
that
game
might hurt me.
So the design of this game is, I feel it's very similar to Bart versus the Space Mutants, which Drew and I played, where it's not very projected. The graphics are beautiful, but it's not very clear what is something you can stand on and what's something that you cannot stand on. They're going for the style. Oh, by the way, that's a door. You can go. Oh,
I say, okay.
I know. Who knew?
Well, see, that's the thing about, like, if you consider modern gaming now, they're so the tutorials are very thorough in, like, how to do stuff.
So this is you push a direction and you'll fly out of it. Okay. Because that's a thing that Pinocchio does.
Going up.
So I enjoyed the Pinocchio episode very much that you and Jeff recorded. Your rough approximation, what part of the movie is this level?
Well, I would guess this is on his way to school.
Sure.
So, because I mean, Honest John's popping up, and so is Gideon. Yes, I remember the names of these characters. That's Honest John. Gideon is the other brown little get out of my way, duck.
So, like, yeah, right. This is also like, what exactly is unfortunately, the interface, like what is an enemy, what is something I can stand on.
I'm fighting these ducks.
I do think, I will confess, I think that is a bit of a flaw in the design of this game. It's not like, because it's Pinocchio. It's not like, it's not Aladdin where he has, not thieves, but police coming after him and stuff like that.
We all got swords.
Exactly.
It
was pages. Like maybe you're collecting these pages.
Try to get those. Okay, there we go. That Lampwick? There's just a jerk kid who keeps hitting a ball at me. Pinocchio currently. So what we've done at the Top Shelf for the podcast is instead of watching 56 movies and trying to rank them, I'm a big fan of ranking. Like my favorite episodes of the Rewatchmen are when we.
There's nothing wrong with a good list. We do it on Technophiles.
Love lists, but 56 movies would be quite the task to undertake.
Right.
In ranking them. So what we've done is we've broken the films into groupings of 10.
Okay.
So in our first 10 films, Pinocchio is the second movie that was ever released by Disney.
So I don't know if you're trying to get to the end or if it's like Jungle Book for Game Boy where you're just trying to collect stuff.
That's why. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's a little something.
There we are. It might be just getting to the end. It might be like Aladdin. Man, it's been a couple years. It's been years since I played this. I remember being very excited, getting. Oh, there's a minecart level in this because this is post Donkey Kong Country. So Virgin was trying to do an impression of a lot of stuff here,
Pinocchio is in our first grouping of 10 was both Jeff and I's number one film.
And so some examples of what it was up against, so to speak, was
Snow White, Fantasia, Bambi, Dumbo.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm gonna be able to name them off the top of my head.
We need a Bambi SNES game.
Oh jeez. Oh, that's something I was asking you off mic. You say SNES, which I've only just recently discovered is. Oh, give me that paper.
It is like there's a stinking Civil War with if it's NES or NES.
I never called it that. Like I get it. It works as an acronym. You could call it that, sure, but it was always Super Nintendo or SNES.
Maybe go in. Is that a door there? Go in that. So yes, it's Nintendo Entertainment System.
Those darn ducks from Aristocats.
I remember my dad.
Deep cut.
They do look like them. I do not know how to get to the end of this level. Maybe it is just collecting everything. If he's trying to get to school.
Slip on something. Okay.
No, he tripped you. Honestly.
John, you son of a badge of cookies.
Maybe you can go in that.
The kid threw a brick at me.
My dad. What is this? Home Alone 2?
He threw a brick at me. Kuya.
Can you go in that door?
I tried.
Oh, really? Okay, more jumping.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so your dad.
He came home from work one day and he was like, "Yeah, everybody at work calls it NES," and that's fine. I mean, I was like 5 when this happened.
Okay, it's NES now.
I was like, "Cool, NES."
You were Mickey
NES.
Mouse when you were a kid.
Yep, as every child is. Those might be doors you can go in too. I really don't know.
Came through.
This is a little bit of a maze level. That kind of blows for like the first level in the game.
This is like one of those endless runner games right now. That's what it feels like, where it's like
a lot of repeating.
There's not a lot of threat, and I can just keep.
Try to get up above that, I think. Yep. So I don't know. I was taught NES as if to say the word was.
Right. So NES was. Oh, well, that was new.
And there's another sprite. Careful there. I have no problem with people calling it NES. In fact, I even kind of agree that it probably should be NES.
Yeah.
But it's NES in my head.
Hey, John, what's up? You gonna just trip me when I walk?
What, so now he's not an enemy?
Hey push!
Oh, only the cane. Only when he flips that cane out.
I'm gonna punch you right in the. I can't.
You can't jump on him or anything?
No punch button.
Whoa! We have a hanging.
Another new thing. Oh, get in!
Seriously, this is cute.
This is great. I love that. That's really great.
It's very cartoony, and the game might be suffering for some of the animation. You know what I mean, though.
I will say real quick, Gideon, a little factoid there, is the only Disney animated character voiced by Mel Blanc, and they cut all of his lines of dialogue.
Oh my gosh!
So Mel Blanc, who did, or Mel Blanc, however you want to say it,
there you go. Nice.
Was the legendary voice behind Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, the
Whoa!
Looney Tunes.
I had no idea.
The icons that is Mel Blanc. The only Disney voice he ever did was Gideon, Honest John's sidekick.
I never knew.
And they cut all his dialogue.
Did you speak about that in the episode?
I did, yeah.
I don't recall.
We did talk about that.
That's cool.
The only thing that remains is a single burp.
Which is his voice?
Which is Mel Blanc, yeah. That's a brick throwing kid right there.
Oh, man alive. There are some levels in this game that are kind of fun. Truly.
I got
another thing.
Page here.
Try that door.
Oh, okay.
Is it the end?
Oh, hey.
Okay, here we go. We have the rotoscoped fairy. I remember you guys talking about that.
Oh,
something's happening.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm hanging out.
What's up next? What was it?
More of the same.
Is that just a save point?
maybe it's another.
There are levels in this game that are all right.
Oh, get in. I'll get you. More. Oh, Christ. Oh, jeez. I got no strings.
This is also, when you needed the death animation. Simba falls over, Aladdin pulls the rings.
So this definitely was created to cash in on the success of Lion King, Aladdin, and those Renaissance movies.
It came out after them. I think they were just like, what's another property?
Yeah, people like Pinocchio. So neat seeing the Blue Fairy there. So a game we've played. It was courtesy of a tweet we got from one from one of our listeners about the. Oh gosh!
Whoa!
He just ran me into that wall.
Like velociraptors.
So we had a question from a listener of who we thought.
Try up to the right. Yeah.
The most powerful magic users are in the Disney library, and it led to our Wizards duel. So having listened, you've heard us discuss.
I think you're repeating areas here, and it's not your fault. So the Wizards duel.
And the Blue Fairy. Am I just back where I started?
Maybe you do have to collect, but there's no indication. There's not an indication on the upper part of the screen as to what. Okay. I almost can't. You know what? Maybe I used a level select cheat back in the day. Honestly, is that a thing you can go through? Is that a door? It's not.
Nah.
Oh! What? Boot to the face!
You jerk!
This game is.
What is happening in this game?
Cruel.
So the Wizards duel. We took all the magic users and we're just and this actually works. Is pretty good for what we're doing here. And the fact that we're talking video games. I want a Street Fighter version, and I want a 32-bit Street Fighter version of the Wizards duel. All the magic users in some sort of Street Fighter game, and like the Blue Fairy being one of the magic users and. You freaking ducks!
So how would Nintendo chose to do a fighting game by doing it the Smash Brothers style? How would Disney do a fighting game?
And only magic users. So there are certainly characters who would be fun to see in a fighting game, such as Simba or whatnot. But no, just the magic users. Oh.
Something. Every time I see something, I'm just hoping that means it's the end of the level here.
Is this thing gonna break out? Yeah.
Another hat.
Oh, there's a hat up there.
Hey, there's a thing. Bounce off the water pipe or the pump.
Oh.
Hit by the brick. I think on the handle side.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Oh, too far!
Oh, no.
What is happening?
If there was a...
This game.
Anyway, our current... so I did a Brackify. You ever use Brackify? It's a It's a fun site where you can just...
And didn't you put it on your Facebook page or something?
I did, yeah. It's on the Top Shelf... Facebook.com/TopShelfPod, which I always have problems saying. You can find our old Brackify for the Wizard. The first...
What if falling down that broken part gets you to a window?
Okay.
I don't know.
Can I make it?
I don't know.
Whee! I just want that hat so bad.
All right, TC, I think try the hat one more time. Maybe we'll call it and try out this Game Boy game.
Come on! Just a little jump.
Honestly.
What the freaking...
All right, one more time. We'll talk about Brackify and Green Game Boy.
Yeah.
It's the same video.
How did you come back? Okay. Oh, no, wait. I know. Could I go...
No. Oh, I see. Get the trajectory.
No, it's not going to work.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
This game is excruciating, I have to confess.
Pinocchio, you're a great movie, not a great game.
You get Perhaps a beautiful game, but not...
Yeah, it's a good-looking game. But you get what I mean about, comparing it to Endless Runner games, where it's it's just the same simplified, randomly generated level over and over again that you get from tablet games.
Absolutely.
It's hey, earn yourself some more hats if you just pay some Bitcoin over for us.
Yeah, I know. That's a whole different... We've had conversations about that on Technophiles before. Oh, plenty of conversations. All right, let's do it. Okay. Let's go Game Boy.
Kid keeps... Throw a brick at me one more time. I dare you. Go ahead. Let's get out of here.
Okay, TC, here we go. We have Pinocchio for the Game Boy up.
Classic Game Boy.
Now notice 95-96. This is interesting because Virgin was a part of this, Disney Interactive, but actually a different publisher worked on this, Black Pearl.
They ported it over?
So it's kind of a port, but by a different studio.
Okay.
I own this game.
Yeah.
I have never played this game yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very excited about what's going to happen right now.
All right. This is one of my favorite things that was released for the Super Nintendo. Oh, look at that.
No, that's a fair representation of what the Super Nintendo one.
It looks super, I'm just going to hit start here.
Yeah, go for it. Wow, okay.
It's different pages.
Yeah.
This is different, a different story.
So this is one of those situations where it's probably going to try to I suspect. Like, the Lion King Game Boy game is almost identical to the Super Nintendo one, actually.
Yeah.
Anything here?
Nothing. Oh,
Start button.
Start button. Pfft, come on now.
You're doing A and B?
Yeah. So what you're saying,
Truth, Brave, we're collecting things?
Yeah, that was what it was in the last one.
Okay. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm kind of taken with this right now.
Wake up, you pedophile, come to life. Okay, this is the
Let's
same.
go for it. Looks like the animation sprites. Okay, here we go.
What is
Here we go. So you have A and B, and we don't know what's going on.
My good. Okay, so jump is over here now. It's B.
Wow.
So
jump is B on this one?
Yeah, instead of A, like it was on. So something I really liked from Super Nintendo is the Super Game Boy, where you could take Game Boy games.
Oh yes.
Oh, that Brick Kid's back.
We're playing Game Boy Color version, like with the Game Boy Player. How that just does.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color right now.
Oh, I get way more air this time.
Yeah, the physics are very different. Obviously, very clearly, they're trying to make it be like the other game. This is interesting to see. I would even imagine that these sprites we're watching of Pinocchio right now are from the same animation cells.
Oh, that
from the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah.
As I look at it here.
But I loved Super Game Boy. Like when that came out.
Oh yes.
Oh man, and particularly because there was Easter eggs where some games. Once the Super Game Boy came out, they started programming code into the Game Boy games.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
would access like Easter eggs in. There we go, got that. In Game Boy, Super Game Boy. So on the screen, you could like pause it, and then you hit like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then some sort of animation would occur.
Yeah, for more, this is you're speaking about even more than just like custom borders and custom color settings and stuff.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
That was a lot of fun. This is so.
Is this even playable?
No, it's actually going. It feels a little better than
the other one because it's less frenetic. I guess maybe right.
Oh, look at that fall. There's I think that's a book up there. Let's see if I can get to it.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm only now realizing that I haven't played it all yet, and that's perfectly fine because I'm having a good enough time watching you do this. There's the kid with the brick.
Oh, Brick Kid.
Looks like a melon.
Whee!
Wow. Oh, okay, you're in the spinny thing.
Oh, you know what? Could I have done that in the last one?
Maybe it was there. I don't know.
Oh, for crying out loud. We're not going back.
Wow, this is intense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you push a direction and then you push jump.
Yeah. Which you could do in the other one when jumping on those things, but maybe that's what we were missing in the last one. Whee!
Could be.
Should I go up? Oh, okay.
Keep going to the right, I think.
Okay.
And Game Boy at the time, I'm so fascinated. I always love looking at the Game Boy versions of games as well, because when I was in 6th grade and 7th grade, this is all you had if you were going on the road.
Yeah.
And you did. Like, I specifically remember playing the Lion King Game Boy game and feeling it's not as good as the Super Nintendo one at all, but feeling completely like it was fulfilled.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, playing the Game Boy. I mean, I didn't have a lot of games for my Game Boy, but Super Mario World.
There you go. Nice.
There we go. Hey.
Nice.
That's better than I did in the Super Nintendo. Well, now that I know you can do this, like, bird. Okay. Bird.
Maybe in this game we'll actually realize what you're supposed to do for this level.
Yeah.
That must be a door you can go through. Yeah. Oh, hat.
Oh, there's a page
over there.
Oh, can I get across this?
I don't think so.
Whoa!
I only know that because I'm referencing the Super Nintendo knowledge.
Oh, yeah. How do I...
I think go into that door.
But I want to... Oh, okay, I see.
Wow.
The animation is not... I mean, it does look like they just tried low-res port it over.
Yeah, off the same animation cells.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff right there. Look! I'm going to school. I'm going to learn... Oh,
Dad.
What?
I don't know. May I try once?
Yeah, please. You've read my mind. I was going to hand it off.
No, that's fine. Because I've never, like I said, I have not played this. I played the Super Nintendo one. Okay, so yeah. All right. So no throw. There's a look up and a down, but the screen doesn't change.
Right.
Is that my life down there by the 3, you think?
Yeah. Do you have to recollect everything that I
hope not. Whoa, this is quite a...
Whee! So what systems did you have? So you had the SNES. You had a NES.
I had a Nintendo Entertainment System growing up.
Did you have Genesis?
We actually got the Nintendo kind of late. I remember being in 1st and 2nd and 3rd grade, and like all the kids had the Nintendo. And I just kind of grew up not actually playing many video games.
Yeah.
I had 2 sisters. I didn't have any brothers, but I had 2 sisters, and we were all similar ages. We played together a lot, to be honest. Played outside and stuff a lot. I had a lot of Legos and construction, so that kept me busy. However, there was a Christmas where my parents attended a Christmas party with their friends. Now, granted, at that time, my parents were probably our age, frankly.
Oh, God, no.
And they went to... oh, wait, I gotta go! Oh! It looks more like a melon in this game. I said that already. Okay, there's a hat.
So you went to a Christmas party with your folks?
No, I did not go with my folks. Oh, that looks more like a pit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They went and played with their adult friends. They played the Power Pad. And they were like, what is this thing? And they were like, oh, it's the story goes that their friends were like, hey, it was the Nintendo Entertainment System. So let me just make this story quick. We got a Nintendo Entertainment System from Santa that year.
Nice.
Which was an amazing coincidence.
Weird. So weird that Santa would know.
And I remember my sister and I opening up the box, and we literally ripped it. It was like the I'm going to pause it for a second.
Okay.
It was like the anti-Nintendo 64 moment. Because we ripped the paper off, and we were like, what is it?
What is it?
Like, I knew of the Nintendo. I knew of Contra. Kids would talk about it at school. But I didn't really even know what it looked like.
Oh, man. I grew up so... Andrew, my friend from elementary school, had a Nintendo, but we did not.
Yep.
And I would go over there and I would sit and watch him play, which is the story of my life for video games. I'll tell you that.
People play.
That just to the point now where maybe I was Stockholm syndrome into it. I love watching.
Oh, there's a kick! I have a kick.
Whoa! What?
How did I get that?
You must have upgraded. Oh, you know what? I bet by collecting a certain number of things, you
get an upgrade.
You've upgraded.
And isn't it cute? That is his little head spin animation. Of
his
got
head
no
stays
springs.
still in his body.
Got no strings. I said springs.
I got no. Well, he doesn't. He's a wooden doll.
It's true. Can I kick this guy now?
Oh,
no, I can die right now. That's what I can do. Okay, I tell you what. I'm in the middle of a Nintendo story. You're in the middle of a Nintendo story. Let's cut this. Let's pick that up.
Yeah. If you want to hear our continued Nintendo story, you got to go to the next episode.
Isn't that convenient? Sure. I'm gonna keep this paused. Yeah, again, okay, so I'm David Geisler of Technophiles. I'm here with...
TC.
TC
Dewitt from...
Specifically of Top Shelf Disney for this...
Top Shelf over at ghosthat.net, or you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/TopShelfPod.
Fantastic. Next episode, we're going to be playing The Jungle Book, which was an episode of yours that I very much enjoyed, because I found myself agreeing and disagreeing with both of you on that episode. So, you can probably click on a button right now on the screen. That'll take you straight to that video. Or if you're watching this in a playlist, it'll go right to it. So TC, I'll see you in one YouTube ad.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
Great.